you guys, welcome back. Hope you had a nice restful weekend. I wanted to do something a little different with today's lesson and just sort of go over a couple of things about distance learning and some ways that you can help yourself keep better organized and on top of your assignments. And I also wanted to go over exactly how to use the Google Classroom application to take photos of your work and upload them. And I'm doing this using an enhanced app called Office Lens. It takes better pictures of actual paper documents and makes them a lot cleaner, easier to read, and it hopefully will streamline the assignments that you're doing. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So it's April 20th, Monday. We're in our, fourth week of distance learning now. So let's talk about what's happening. So there's been some news in the last couple days. I'm sure you've heard the governor, Governor DeSantis. He made an announcement about schools staying closed through the rest of this school year, which means it looks like we're going to be continuing with distance learning, longer than originally anticipated. Some of you may have, already kind of come to that conclusion. I sort of did also, but, others may have been holding out to see like what would happen next. It looks like we're definitely staying with distance learning for right now. So, we have to just try and stay positive about it and, make changes to our routines so that we can, best respond to what's happening in our nation and in our lives, the way that, the things we have to do have been affected. So after we talk about some changes, and we'll take a look at a calendar, I'm going to go over, I did a screen record for Google Classroom application on my iPhone, and also Office Lens, and then I want to talk to you about something called the Pomodoro method for time management. So we'll get into that in a minute. So first thing, I saw this infographic, this little, I don't know if it's an infographic, whatever you want to call it, this little motivational picture. I don't remember if I ran across this on like Facebook or Reddit or something, but it's just a couple of things to just keep in mind and remember when we're responding to changes. So look for things that are positive about the situation, and kind of try and focus on those and not the negatives. I know there's a lot of uncertainty going around. I know there's questions that have been unanswered. There's been events that have been canceled that, it's super devastating. But, it's sort of one of those things that you don't have control over. And so because you don't have control, you have to control your reaction instead. Oops, hang on. Flipped away from that. So you want to remember things that you've overcome before in the past. Because that can help remind you just how strong you are as an individual. Let go of control, we just talked about that. Strive to stay present in the things you're doing. Try not to just completely wall yourself off from people. It's a blessing to us that this is sort of happening in this time period, because 10 or 15 years ago, when we didn't have iPhones and Google Meets and video chatting, it would have been totally different, and we would have had no choice but to remain, more isolated. But we have more ways now than ever to stay connected with people, and so we need to be taking advantage of those as much as we can. And you also want to just seek out sources of support. So that kind of goes hand in hand with staying present and staying in touch. Stay in touch with your friends, stay in touch with your teachers, your family members, try and find ways to stay connected, and do things together to remind you about what those relationships and connections, they mean to you. One more thing too, just to remember, is that, this isn't going to last forever. Of course, we're going to get past this time period. It's one of those things where it kind of really sucks right now, but it's not going to really suck forever. So just keep that in mind. So just a little, positivity, keep you going. Let's talk about the calendar. So as we can see, we've already done, this is the fourth quarter. We have gone through 3 weeks already. Out of 9, there's 6 more to go. I'm circling here April 20th. That's the date today. We have one more day that's considered technically like a holiday for the calendar. That's towards the end of May. For my freshmen, you just have, if you think about it, 29 days of school to go before this school year ends, and then we can put this whole mess behind us and move forward to next year. Um, for seniors, I don't have an official date for you about the last day. I mean, before it was, I think, May 8th or something, and I don't know if that's staying the same or if it's going to be before that or after that, or if you're staying through the end of the year with the rest of us. I have no idea. I wish I had more information for you on that. I'm sure that they are trying to figure out exactly what to do, and you'll have more information in the coming weeks about that. But it's still, if you think about it, you have, at the most, you have 29 days of school left. And if anything, it would be reduced by, 10 days or something. And that's really, it's marginal at that point. It's not that much more or less. So, just some things to keep in mind. So I'm going to move forward to, talking about, let's see, we're going to talk about Google Classroom, the Google Classroom app for your phone. Now everything that I'm showing you today, it should work on an Android phone pretty similarly. And if for some reason it doesn't, and you can't figure something out on your Android or even your iPhone, and you want to ask me, feel free to ask me, and we can try and figure it out. So let's talk about the first thing. The first thing is going to be downloading the Google Classroom app for the first time if you don't already have it. Now this is different. This is different from if you were just opening up your browser on your phone and going to the Google Classroom website. The app is just a little more reliable in terms of uploading assignments and viewing things, and so you want to try and use the app if you can. It's the best option you have available if you're going to do this all on your phone. Of course, going on a computer and going to the Google Classroom app through the portal, that's the most reliable. That's what I highly recommend. But let's jump in. So this is what we're doing. So we're opening up this is my iPhone, so we're going to go to the App Store. If you don't already have Google Classroom, you're just going to use the search for Google Classroom. And that's going to come up. And you're going to go ahead. Mine's already downloaded, so it just says open, but if you don't already have it, you'll have to install it first. I'm going to go ahead and just open mine. So when I go into my Google Classroom screen, it's already logged in as myself and with my teacher account. And I've actually gotten a student to help me with this, and that's really awesome because now you can sort of see better from what it looks like from a student's perspective. So we're going to go ahead and log in as that student. Shout out to Bella Marshall. Thank you so much for letting me use your credentials here and using it for my demo. I'm not sure why, but I was typing with one finger when I was recording this because, I don't know, what was I thinking, but that's why it's taking so long to actually do it. But when you type in your student email address with the @STU, it's going to bring up the portal, and you're going to need to log in just like you would on any other device with your student ID number and your password. And we're going to blur that out so we don't share Bella's password with everybody. And we're going to hit login, and we're there. So you can see now in the top right corner, it's actually switched over to Bella's login. And in a moment when her classes load, we're going to be able to see all the classes that she is a student in. We'll just give that a second to roll up here. And there you go. So all of her classroom that she's a part of have shown up. Oops, the video started over, so I guess we're done talking about that one. I'm going to switch to the next video because the next thing I want to show you about Google Classroom is going to be ways to see in one place all the assignments that you have and when they're due. So you can scroll through the list and look at all of your classes, and if you have things that are coming up due really soon, I'm not sure if this is within the next week or something, underneath the class it will actually list the assignment. But an easier way to see everything at once is to go to the menu and then click on your to-do list. And your to-do list is going to gather all the assignments you have from all the classes that you're a part of, and it's going to put them in chronological order, in date order. and it's going to tell you on what day you have what due, so you know what you need to work on first. That can be super helpful, especially because when you tap on it, it will take you right to the assignment, so if you're ready to turn it in. And the other thing you can do is click the Done tab at the top, and the Done tab will tell you all the stuff that you've already turned into your teachers. That's just waiting being graded or something. So another thing you can do to sort of help keep track of all these tasks is to use Google Calendar. I like Google Calendar just a little better because on Google Calendar you can actually add your own events to it also. Actually, it looks like Bella has plenty of things on here already that she's got in her own calendar. The first time that you actually use this, you're going to have to open the menu and you're going to actually have to add the classes that you're a member of in Google Classroom. If you scroll down a little and hit Show More, it's going to show you all the classrooms that you're a student in, and you're just going to have to check those check boxes in order for those things to show up on your calendar. So I'm tapping all these classes. We're going to go back into the calendar now, and you can see it's updated now by date with the things that are due on that day. So that situation might be a little better for you depending on all the other things you have to manage in your life. So that app, by the way, is Google Calendar. So you'll need to download that separately from Google Classroom if it's something that you want to use. Okay, the video started over. We're switching again. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is going to be something called Office Lens. So that's an app. You're going to go to the App Store and just search for Office Lens. What Office Lens does is it lets you take pictures at like a scanner almost of documents, and it will trim the borders off, and it will fix the brightness levels, and it will just make the document overall way more legible and able for me to read. So in the video, you can see I pulled out a piece of paper. I'm just gonna pull the phone up a little and take a picture of it, and you can see it automatically cut the borders off and fix the brightness, and that's going to be way easier to read. And I can also add additional pages to this. I think you can go up to like 10 or something. So I flip my paper over and I'm taking a picture of the back, and it's going to go ahead and add that too. The next thing I want to do is hit Done. And then when I go to this screen, it's going to ask me, where do I want to export this file to? And I first want to give it a title. So here I am titling the document. And I'm going to click on PDF. And it's going to let me save it in my phone storage as a PDF, which is exactly what we want. Now, one extra step you have to make sure you do before you upload is you actually have to go back to the app, go to the three dots, and then hit My Files. And then you're going to click on the document you just took a picture of and hit the export button at the top. And that's going to let you actually save it to the phone, your actual iPhone. And then now you'll be able to really easily access that file when you go to Google Classroom. So I'm pulling up Google Classroom here. And we're going to go to, it's a fake classroom that I made and put Isabella in as a student. And we're going to go to that class. I made a fake assignment, and we're just going to demonstrate how we upload. We're going to go to the classwork screen and click on the assignment. And then at the bottom, click on the arrow and where it says your work. You're going to hit Add Attachment, and then you're going to add a file. And since it brings up your recent documents, it should be the very first thing that you choose from. It takes a moment to attach. And then once it is attached, you'll see the file there, and you can just hit Turn In. And that will turn in the document to me as your teacher, and I can go ahead and grade it and give you feedback. Now, you've probably done this. There's many ways to slice and dice this. You might be doing this already in your own manner. I'm just going to kind of change this over to another screen here. But the video is actually starting over, but I'm going to keep talking, whatever. So you might be doing this, any other number of ways. You might be, going to Google Classroom right off the bat, finding your assignment and adding stuff and taking a picture right in the app. I've gotten a lot of feedback that is very slow and takes a long time, and so you might want to try this method. It might be better for you to try this method and check that out. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, we're going to switch back here to this is the calendar we were just looking at. Something else I want to talk to you about, this is the last thing I want to bring up today, is just about something called the Pomodoro Technique. And Pomodoro, I'll admit I really don't know what the origins are of this. I'm sure you could Google it and find out. But the gist of what Pomodoro is it's a time management skill strategy that you can use to focus on things that you're trying to get accomplished. And what happens is you set a timer for 25 minutes and you work on nothing but that task that you're trying to get done. You just mentally clear your mind, clear your desk, put your phone aside, put it on Do Not Disturb, whatever you have to do, and you focus on just the thing you're trying to get accomplished. And then after the 25 minutes is up, your timer will go off. And I guarantee you the first time you do this, you're going to be amazed that 25 minutes have gone by already. And then you take a 5-minute break. And then the way the whole technique is supposed to work is you're supposed to do that 4 times. So that's 4 25-minute work periods and 4 5-minute breaks. So if you add all that up, that's 2 hours. And then after the 2 hours is over, you're supposed to take a 25 to 30-minute break to do something completely different. So you're going to walk away from your workplace, your workspace, your desk, whatever it is. You're going to go get a snack. You're going to go, respond to all the text messages that you've been ignoring for the last 2 hours. Get caught up on that. And then when those 30 minutes are over, if you're still not done with stuff that you need to get accomplished, then you flip back over to Pomodoro and you start over. I have to use this technique to keep myself going because there's so many things that are like around me that can distract me from this. When emails pop in, when text messages and Snapchats come up, when you guys are asking me questions, which I'm not complaining, please ask me questions anytime. But sometimes I really do need that time where I can focus on what I'm doing and just really knock it out and get it over with. And that's really what Pomodoro is for. So there's an app you can download. There's plenty of Pomodoro apps out there that you can get that make this process easier. The one I'm going to show you today is called Planty. It's available on the App Store on iPhone for free, and it does not have any in-app purchases, which is something I really like about it. It's just a nice, clean, simple app. It has some ads, but whatever. And on Android, there's a few apps available that do the same thing. So I'm just going to show you what the Planty one looks like right here. So let's switch over. So I'm going to go to the App Store on my iPhone, and I'm going to search for Planty right in the search bar. You can hear my lovely keyboard clicks, which is awesome. So Planty should be the first thing that comes up, and I'm going to hit get. And I'm going to have to obviously, do whatever I have to do to make that app download work. Use my Face ID. And once Planty downloads, that takes a second to install and everything. But once Planty downloads, you just launch it, and right out the gate, the timer is already set for you at 25 minutes. There's a little tour you can go through. It shows you what to do. And the nice thing about Planty is that it adds a little extra layer to this. And it's like it's sort of like a game almost. Like the longer you can stay in this app for the whole 25-minute period, the more like coins you earn. I don't really know what you can do with the coins, but maybe that'll give you some sense of accomplishment or something. I don't know, but so that's the cool thing about Planty. We're gonna just cut that out and switch back. So Planty is what I recommend if you have an iPhone. Or if you have an Android, there's definitely another app you can get. There's plenty of apps available to do this. Or you don't even need an app. Honestly, you can just go to your timer on your phone and just set that 25-minute timer and just, go do the Pomodoro method that way. So that's all I have for you today. We are not doing a formal lesson on mathematics. There's too many things happening right now. The preliminary feedback that I've gotten from you guys on the survey that I posted is that you're feeling a little overwhelmed. So with this today, I'm giving you sort of like a break so you can use these techniques to your advantage and use them to get your other stuff caught up. And we will have a brand new lesson on Wednesday. Tuesday, tomorrow, I will have office hours available as always on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. And that announcement will be posted in Google Classroom with the code when it's time for you to actually log in and join. Just another couple of notes. I did send out letters on Friday. I finished all the grades that we've gotten so far. I put them in to SIS and also put your attendance in. I sent letters out to every parent. So if you have a pretty good grade right now, then you got a nice letter. And if you don't have a great grade right now, you didn't get a nice letter. Sorry. I work with you guys as much as I can on everything you have to do with our class. But there comes a point where, we need to get your parents involved because something's not clicking, something's not motivating you, something's not working, and we need to get to the root of what that is. So I hope you don't feel some type of way about that letter, but it had to be done, so it was sent out. And one more thing too, you're going to have a brief assignment today on this video, and I'm sure you'll be nice and pleasantly surprised by that assignment when I post those details in Google Classroom. And I also posted that survey I was just talking about a minute ago as an assignment, and I'm actually grading that, so I do need 100% participation on that. And that survey is really just to know, I just want to know more about, how it's going for you with distance learning in all your classes, not just mine. And I really want your honest feedback. It does collect your name. I'm asking you for your name because if there's anything that you write in there that, it's a problem I can help you solve, or it's a question you're asking inside of your answer. I mean, I want to be able to get in touch with you specifically and work through those issues. So anyway, yeah, that's all I've got for you. I hope you, again, had a great weekend and you're nice and rested up and ready to approach this week and just tackle everything you have to get done. Be safe and be well, and you guys, you know how to get in touch with me if you need me, and I'm here for you. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.